So again, for the sake of all sentient beings as vast in number as the sky is vast, to attain the state of complete enlightenment, the level of Buddhahood, continue our teachings on song. One particular focus of song, function of song, is clearing away all discordant conditions, factors, clearing away all obstacles, hindrances, and gathering together conducive conditions.
다 가정에 되는 가서 좀 다 추진 걸 좀 다 가정을 좀 아니 운동해서 야, 다 쳐봐도 지마지.
So yesterday, primarily focused on the aspects of song as a practice of generosity, making offerings, of giving. Song is a practice to clear away obstacles. Really, it's a primary function, primary use of the practice of song, to clear obstacles, to eliminate discordant conditions from arising. For example, when practitioners are going to begin a 3-year retreat and so forth, and before beginning the retreat, you go outside and prepare the offerings, make the offerings of song as a means to clear away obstacles, and making offerings to the various Dharma protectors, the protectors of the teachings, the Dharmapalas, and again in particular to make offerings to the local spirits, local land guardians. In particular, if it's a new place that you're entering into a retreat, or a new facility you're using to make a particular focus on requesting the permission to engage in one's spiritual training at that site from the local spirits of that area. So just like human relations, to accomplish any given activity, it's beneficial to gather your allies, to make friends. So likewise, with the practice of song, we're making offerings, practicing generosity, asking the Dharmapalas, and again in particular, local spirits and deities to be allies for us, companions, to help us. Recognizing that helping us, having a reciprocal relationship, will be beneficial both for us and for those local spirits.
Dent.
Yeah.
나보다 사자들 즉 사바집 토랑가서 제고요나 양마서 때 제고요. 그러다 점도보다 땐도 사중이라 봐. 근데 양마서 나와시 고도 봐. 양배는 얘네 내가 다 배는 집 메이크업 draw 집 다양 대사 배는 컬러로 보고요나 말하는 집에는 얘네 다양 사고다 보고서 다 레니엔다 네트서 거서 집 드니야 맞에 나와시고 그때 당단 남북 추게 양되게 노랑지래 빼나다 최대한 기타가 되지 좋아요 얼마 사니 시작도 최대한 좋아 된저게 나나 맞에 빼나 신직제 보고요나 맞에 사는 거로 봐 사자도 사는 거로 봐 대탐지 들어가서 제가서 설레는 거 저기 마진발랑 막. 이니 된다고 보고요. 그래서는 고소 때려야 소소랑 지 답본다고 상목당들이 너무 여러 봐. 그래서 연재면이 사건과 좋아. 왜냐 생기에 거는 다 교대는 소신도 맞게 거는 다 보고하지. 왜냐 고소라 나와시고 사건에 좋아지. 내가지. 대나게 교대 인사가 사라고 지내나. 다 보면은 요리 유다에서 탐지가 나와슈 고소라 내마제 얘는 다 사이 받아서 고소 한데 얘는 가서라 나와슈 얘는 말도 가는 것을 도보로 찍으러 도스제제는 얘는데 양 다당가서 다 도스제 대제를 하나지
Likewise, for a family moving to a new home or building a new house somewhere, to song is and to initially engage in making offerings to and requesting permission from the local spirits, the land guardians of that particular place. When it's building a house or buying a house where you're going to stay permanently, you need to do this. Request the permission to stay there, to make friends with the spirits that inhabit and whose land it is. Likewise for nomads traveling their tents wherever they temporarily set up their tents. Likewise, they make requests to the spirits of that locale, make offerings to the land spirits there, offerings and request permission to Nagas, Nyen spirits there as well. This all is in accord with the Buddha Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, where in the other Buddhist teachings, in particular instructions on constructing and consecrating stupas, where it talks about disturbing land and taking up a single plant or cutting down a single tree. But to do that without requesting permission initially is to steal, is to take that which is not given, to steal. So initially, when constructing a stupa and so forth, when disturbing the land, when using the land for constructing a stupa and other activities, you initially engage in the rituals of requesting permission to take up the land, where these particular rituals of initially requesting permission and then granting or giving of gifts and presents to the local spirits to make them your allies, to make them your companions, request permission and then to give them something. where you plant, bury earth vases and so forth as those gifts.
아니, 다 내가 애니야. 근데 그걸 뭐지? 다 그치에 되는 소리. 배나 중앙한 거 봐. 최대한 거. 강바 살바지야 봐. 배나긴 아니 다 배나 진짜래. 아니 근처라 소바다. 배나 다 근처라 소바. 타는 거는 로바. 애니 다 가래서 장사잡이야. 애니 양구야. 얘네 말은 뭐야?
쌍대 강? 쌍?
그냥 쌍 미세기다. 왜 받았어? 가득 보고 했어.
그러면 얘기.
야, 이걸로 뭐지? 뺄만.
뺄만.
뺄만 쓰는 거 여러.
Guru Rinpoche himself in Termas speaks to the need for performing the practice of song in many different particular occasions. To initiate the construction of a temple, a house, a stupa, a drupcha, before going on long journeys, before getting married, and to initiate the yangkuk, the gathering of abundance rituals, and also when going off into battle, going to fight.
말하면 빼나다 도와 주체에서 저 소위나 그래서 아니 사성선에 그것도 와. 그래서 말하면 저 거기에 사이다 보는 거. 그래서 담지 말하면 저 다음은 맞았다 사다论년에서 누바치 못해. 말하면 소라 텔레장 때문에 말하면 소라 아니 누바치 뭐 이거 와. 그냥 맞소라 너바랑 제트 이나야 맞소 고소라 때문에 니 규칙 초와 봐. 맞소 배드에서 가르 이나야 콘솔라 맞소 배드에서 아니 대체 초와. 니 규칙이 초와. 지금이 고란조고 배는더니 왕외 같은 지 따고대 말한서더니 용라고 지겠더니 맞소께서 남사 치고 배드에서 나서 콜소나 사자도 송아서 콜토 뿌야네 야나를 zon아. 아니 와서 그냥 제가 말하면
야나키.
샘판배로 야나 마쇼 한거 되게 귀신하게네. 거기서 가만히 있는 데가 야나 벌치고 말해 가만히 있는 용거이나 아니 카페 그미사한테 사는 방가 용이에 땅 거기서 밥빛 그냥 가가 걸을 남래고 하는 가르치고 하는 농가를 지금 말해 밀 지금 그냥 제가 말아. 내가 뭐지? 맞아 지연한테는 됐어 가서 아니 마을 반장 근데 당나라도 나고 있다가 내가 잘 오더만 근데 선다 아때는 인지민이 그 충충이지 이나요 그쪽에 인지민이 내가마 아니 최고야지 나 뒤서 단계 그 홍라고데 가발을 연구를 했잖아 나한테 산지 샤게토박 얘네 초가 백사람들이 민망하지만 샤게토박은 초가 약간 시금도 샤게토비서나 얘네 가랬어요 용들이 세니들의 마도 책에도 초가 많고 이거 초가 다 예슈대 책에 토바랑 샤르니 송야 초가데 최면남이 있어요 최대의 초가데 최면남 최대의 초가 어다 대수가 나온 송거요 이게 다 벨을 주세요 벨 안에 말한 소가 안에 대수가 다 초가서 그거 되는 송거요 벨나 사롱도 가르쳐 보고요 되냐 가르쳐 보고요 돼서 지지시되셨어.
These rituals appease local spirits are very important. For example, before beginning your drupchen, you go through the preliminary stages, the preliminary rituals, including the rituals of taking up the land, requesting permission from the local spirits of whatever land you're going to be opening the mandala of the drupchen upon. requesting these local spirits, the Nagas, the Nyen. So, in general, these such spirits are not necessarily all that powerful. When we think about it, the wisdom deities, the power of mantra, the power of samadhi, of the practices of Dzogchen, of the Buddhist practices, really are significantly more powerful than these spirits. So there's no need that so you're not requesting the land, offering them gifts because they would destroy us otherwise, or they're more powerful. It's more that it wouldn't be proper to denigrate them, to act negatively towards them. It's not allowed. It wouldn't be suitable to show up on your Drupchen site and immediately to expel any spirits there, expel them, cast them out, evict them all of a sudden. That would be acting like the various different harsh governments and societies of the world, like the government of China, that often acts in this way. They show up, they want something, they've decided they're going to take this piece of land, then they tear down all the houses in the way of the road that they want to build there. Anybody who's living there is immediately expelled. I said, like in Tibet, and yes, like in Tibet, and everywhere the Chinese government goes, this often happens. You hear stories of this. So acting in such ways like that it's just not in accord with the view of the Buddha Dharma. It wouldn't be suitable, wouldn't be acceptable. So even though such spirits may be small and not so powerful, such practices, veneration to them, or offerings to them, requesting permission from them, is still necessary. And this isn't just something we make up or something that's developed later. These such rituals came directly from the Buddha Shakyamuni, date back to the Buddha Shakyamuni. In fact, the Buddha himself spoke quite extensively on such rituals as these. There are many rituals texts that discuss this, that are directly from the words of the Buddha. In particular, the one text on an extensive text on how to engage in the construction and consecration of stupas, Drupne Namni, it's called in Tibetan, which is maybe the most extensive explanation directly spoken by the Buddha Shakyamuni on how precisely to engage in these rituals, preparatory elements of the rituals, where every little element is explained in detail.
Voilà, ça. Tenez son temps, tenez, sanjé rang, tenez yang, de so quoi mango yore, pena sabda shamu. Sabda la tenez ngaran to mise ke tenez tenez chua yore. Sabda shamu se. Tenez namsa nangye se. Namsa nangye se de, tenez namse ke tenez tinga nande te so tamje la yang, ngaba ta chuma che, namsa nangye se. Ene zayom kayom se. Deso tamche, tata ngachu tene namjun, pena ta, chua yenda mehiga na te ngachu sasapa zuya te lega changina. Deso tamche ta, pena, inchi mini ta, deso, tiki zong, sanji ki tada, tena yore, tata ndo mansene, ndo misensu yo. Deso inchi mini tene ngachu, wawa ina, inchi mini chua ta matana, driga yore. Deso la ta, pena, tenjeki ta sanjeki ndotere kashi yore wa zayom karyom se tate so reyna tene sida wo ma ke zakama to la na ba yungu mare namsa nangye se tate ben sangba tene yebya ta sabda shangum senge tene tene ma so chua mo yore tene so ta tene tata ngaran so ge yang ma so yagane pa tarjuk ene pe nga so togar yese da
ye kagi
ta pena tong hai lu tang ya tele doa pena ta nga so kare sai shenyi shirabni bola tene du ya da ene te
Shirabni bola
ene jitan drama la tene ta nga ram so gun de tang ya la so bo
Shirabni bola tene du mara du.
de sta de sena ta lu tang ya 늘 가서
Exorcism?
강다 다 신을 힘보라 때문에 들어와 다 말에 소탄들 줘봐지 도과지 들어줘 두쪽 나라도 루방야 들래 지키나
Ransom? Or
Ransom.
exorcism?
Ransom. FSG for ransom.
근데 요래 이나요 인상 이렇게 장에 너 인생이 들고 그래서 왜 가르쳐 그러서는 대속 장가 별로 없어요. 이 권한도 야고 맞대 그래. 이렇게는 범보는 뭐만 여지리네. 범보 나서 때 다크 주죠 말에 나서 되는 요래 야갈래는 연남발에 요래로 와.
So in the teachings of the Buddha himself, we have many different texts and sutras and so forth from the Buddha Shakyamuni himself that discuss and give instruction on precise rituals to be performed on how to make offerings, engage in acts of generosity, to give gifts to various different spirits, gods, deities, worldly spirits, and so forth. Sada Shambhum, Namsa Namgye, to name a few. The texts we mentioned yesterday, the Sayum and Karyum, mother text to the planetary forces, planetary spirits, the mother text to the stars, forces of the stars, where particular texts that focus on rituals to be performed when any given or different types of new activities are being begun, building a house, taking up land. Many of these different texts included in the Dharani section of the Kangyur, in the collected different sutras and so forth. Sayum and Karyum texts performing such rituals allow you to avoid different astrological calamities. Texts particularly focus like the Sada Shambhum, which discusses the rituals to be performed and how to make offerings when constructing a new building, constructing a new house. The text on how to perform the offerings of ransom, making gifts of ransom to summon back one's life force or to appease different spirits, demons that steal life force, based on the Sherab Ningpo, the heart essence sutra, and so forth. So there's a whole litany of these different texts that were spoken directly by the Buddha himself that date back to Buddhism's earliest days in India, where now many of these such practices in Tibetan Buddhism are often described as being not Buddhist at all, but coming solely from the Bön tradition, which just simply isn't true. It's just, if you look at the text themselves, the Kangyur itself, we have this, all these different liturgies and explanations on these rituals spoken by the Buddha himself. So it may be true that similar practices are found in the Bön tradition, but we can definitely date these particular rituals and practices back to Buddhism in India itself.
난 되게 참나 딱히도 안 남겨있는 쌍대 차들더니 뇌생이 저래 나한테 양행이나 그니 뇌생에 다 지들이 담는 표현이와 얼마나 지들이 다 계속 버트린 마음 미시었지 근데 다 서로 빠뜨를 드라미를 잡고 아빠도 이제 맨날 뭐요래 근데 다들이 거기서 돈 마시면 되지 다 뒤니들이 와서 드라라 에마스는 다 서로 드라딴 거요래 사실 참 드라라 때마다 소셜에서 제거해요.
Drala da tenma.
Tema.
Ten.
가장 라이바. tema.
Tenma.
tema. nama gyuni.
Last one.
다때서 믹서지 비어서리 해서래. 다때서 믹서다 아니 고르는 보지다. 얼패도 아니 야 어그 나한게다 믹서지 송하다 컨트롤하더니 믹서게요. 다 that's the number one. 가서 그걸 뭐지 장을 해 이네요 그런 거다. 미세 그런 뜻이 있나요? 미세 송마에서 다 그거 나와요. 무슨 얘기 이제 때문에 좋았다. 빼는 거랑 저네 나는 거래. 될 때는 그것도 때마스는 되게 좋아요. 잘하다. 때마스는 좋다. 같이 드리러지기 살아.
Usually more extensive song practices like Gyangin and so forth. Following the practice of song, following the offering of song, then you engage in the practicing of the offering of gifts, presents. So you perform the song offering, and then you perform an extensive series of gift offerings, Ngen, with tormas and various different prescribed substances to be given. Including, and then what we were discussing yesterday, the offerings and veneration to the Drahla, deities related to the enemies, and the Tenma, the 12 Tenma sisters and so forth. So, usually in more extensive practice, which we won't be doing today necessarily, all these various different elements are included, that were added by Guru Rinpoche. Guru Rinpoche, when he came from India into Tibet, to pay particular veneration and homage to the protectors, the unique protectors of Tibet, the Dratha and the Tenma spirits. Guru Rinpoche himself, coming from India, added this in to pay particular homage and to the offerings to the protectors of Tibet, such as the Tenma and Dratha.
근데 양 나라다 냠부터니 롱다스 요 롱데기사 근데 다 롱다기사 근데 믹스 근데 롱다기사다 근데 맞어 양 다른 중요한 도와 다르죠 다르죠 중요한데 롱데상기 믹스 다 되게 qabla 근데 맞어 다 중요하다는 것도 다 맞어 왕탕당 제가 근데 다르서 야 근데 맞어 왕탕당 롱다에서 다야도 제도 Tene ngazo tajo deso dran, tene ngazo tajo, tene pele xiaozhuo jeb deso jia deso, ngazo ta wang tang da, wang da deso ya kaya jie. Ta kandar pet jesa ngazo sem jik, ta deso nyana, norsang deso senye ta tika su yung gore.
Norsang.
Norsang deso.
Norsang.
Pele ta ngazo sem jik mukwa dang, jik yig ma dewa rawa dang, jik wo me jo rawa yina. Tene ngaso praticesere koso ma kiki soso se tene praticesere koso ke chak samba or shabro chak tene kope chikina ko praticesere semya eni teji chabe ko nonga te 다른 거야 봐. ko praticesere sem ma 목소는 tene ngaso 강가 냠도 봐. 드레스는 koso tene 아마도서 야 공도 떠야 돼. tene 어다 드레스 다 될 koso 좀 tene 소를 왕탕 온다서 봐. so we 왕탕 온다 인생 왕탕도 온다에서 다양해서 들어가도 와서 샘지 구바에서 구바도 목바 타바에서 그게 상네 근데 샘도서 야대와 드레저 지기 쳐더니 아좀 다른 중요한 롱다 또야 롱다에서 나 의미를 망고도 같이 남과라 팔 오래야 되는데 다 망치와 당하는 Tendrese da rite sola ya trinha da roda, tendrese chega doce.
Following these song offerings and offerings to gifts made to the Drahla and so forth, then we have the elements, additional elements, the practice of Lungta, raising one's wind horse and raising prayer flags element within the song practice of Lungta, raising one's wind horse. So at this phase of the practice of the ceremony, then this is when horse races occur. Horse races and dancing, yelling, all as a part of this practice of raising one's wind horse, or good luck, good fortune, raising one's wantong, charisma and internal power. So there's rituals performed for this, and then also together with that, everybody's like celebrating. This is the party taking place. Racing horses, dancing. It's really all of this activity is brings you up, wakens you up. And in particular in the Nolsang text, this practice is described or included in the Nolsang performance. So when one's mind is dull, lethargic, unclear, or depressed, whatever that may be, then by doing fun, exciting things, yelling out, "Kiki so-so," throwing tampa, scattering tampa, racing your horse, yelling, dancing, singing. This all wakens up the mind, right? And this refreshing of the mind really, isn't that also like bringing up one's Lungta, awakening the wind horse, bringing back good fortune to yourself? So this section really invigorates one's life force, one's the winds, one's the wind horse, one's good fortune, one's charisma and internal power. Really helps when if you're depressed, lethargic, and so forth, to revive yourself, bring you back. So with Lungta, with the prayer flags themselves, there are many different types and ways to hang them. Generally, you go to hang them as close to the sky as you can. Go to a high mountaintop and hang the prayer flag. Lungta Toya. Oh, look, Lungta Toya.
Toya, do didn't hang there, do young. Vertical in the
So with the practices of raising one's Lungta, there are many different practices. You can hang, your horizontal prayer flags, your vertical prayer flags. Then you have the little paper prayer flags that you scatter, throw on the top of a mountain, so forth. Many different means for doing this.
As additional song practice, what Rinpoche is saying is we have additional song practice like after the Lungta to increase the vitality of your life force, your body. Then so Wangtang means
I call it like charisma.
Power, charisma or strength. Then Lungta means actually not. It's translated as a wind horse, but I think Rinpoche is going to explain the luck and fame. The meaning is luck and fame. Lungta sena luck tang sonam da diriwa Lungta luck tang fame rema to wind horse and goya chiri omare.
Really, Lungta singing the Lungta singing the money jena tata tita Lungta the koto the you get the long down, then long the that be mare. Carrier is in a car at the lucky long ago. That young money. There's a long that I call your money. The cover dig around to open a parka, Mela, long dancing to Jakilva. Jarakil.
Parka say, "Yet I'm a Euro." Astrology number astrology.
Parka, Mela, signal you will. That long dancing in there, didn't around to Kalis Kirsena. 다스는 기란 것도 다 야나게 참모래도
야나게
야나게 다 때도 것도 롱 다스는데 하나는 되더래 다 가르쳐 버려 또 브라우치 또 됩니다 친구 가서 다 인기 땅 가서 중앙에 내봐야 지었어요 중앙에 내봐야 다티 지마 갈래 지 중앙으로 이제 템니 근데 롱게 따다 롱 생인데 깔아다 깔아다는 요 다 정말에 내가 라따는 요리는 맞아 양동디기나 따게 되는 그 루모티기도 대도 고가 직관으로 차리는 농다 차서도 나도 은혜 롱다 생인데 말이야. 롱다 생인데 근데 다른 나라가 조금 빼나 톱 치보려고 지래. 롱다 코로나 근데 나도 기도 롱다 코로나 일단 중화 이해요라. 중화 이해요라. 중화 이해. 남준 중화 나도 와. 롱다 코로나 중화 이해요라. 빼나다 사이 롱다 요 말이야.
사이 룽타 요 말이야.
요 말이야. 근데 중화 이해요. 그래서 이제 다 좀더 녹수의 가만히 중반에서는 시기 녹수의 다 견하는 자야 중요 시기 녹수죠라 되네. 그래서 다른 가서 빠하 생각나 벽에서 고지지요 말해. 얘네 이게 다 고소 그때 중화리고 다 빠악 생각이 다가 지래. 얘네 딱 가서 되는 게 빠하면 하시는데서 다네 가래 나가서 때네 벽에 가지온다는데 제가 기회만 가래 다 대상 인재가 옆에는 왜 왔어 그래. 맞아 되는지 차오래.
Lungta doesn't mean wind horse at all. So often, probably many of you have seen or heard this translation. Many Tibetans as well, and generally Tibetans consider this term Lungta to be mean literally wind horse. And often on prayer flats themselves you have a horse, and then that kind of added to the confusion. For Lungta, the actual term is a Chinese term that in its original spelling is not like Lung means wind and Ta means horse for all of you know how it's spelled normally, but the actual word Lungta is a Chinese word, and it's spelled differently. Not spelled like wind and horse. So when you see the real spelling of the term Lungta, you'll see that it actually means nothing in Tibetan. It's just this borrowed Chinese term that means great power. Top Nupa Chempo. Great power related to the 4 elements. So generally you have 5 elements, but with regards to Lungta, the power of Lungta, it only relates to 4 of the elements. There is no Lungta relating to the earth. So it's borrowed from Chinese astrological science, along with several other terms. Terms like Barka, Mewa, which I don't know what those mean at all. They're astrological terms from Chinese, along with this term Lungta.
They do 8 trigrams.
8 trigrams of
Chinese astrology. The definition here do Barkasig. Me was in the under Gutama Yoruba. The definition down to share Yoruba, the village, you know, to say. This is some Bulgarian number of Goya Kaya Yomari.
Barka is a Chinese astrological system based on the 8 trigrams. Yeah. Bagua.
It's Chinese.
Bagua.
Yeah, it's on the back side of the tortoise. See, you see that?
Tortoise. Marwa, 9 trigram system.
9 stars.
9 stars. I mean, 9 stars. Anyway, just point being that also this term Lungta is borrowed from the Chinese astrological systems and literally has no meaning in Tibetan. It's not a Tibetan term. It was kind of misapprehended for a very long time as meaning wind horse.
농가된 가수 그때는 내가 가수가 뭐 따뜻한 데와 그러나 나랑 저게 그거대 따뜻한 노바 나의 노바 빼나 아니 빼나 가서 자다 랑다 조리나 되니 추래 농가 추래 자 랑 파파송 아니 말이 drawing sare draw som이나 이게 추요 거 뭔가 돼 추요 대다 뭐 좀다 고좀 중화게 제일 고소 가르사다 네바다 드리치 통시에 돼요 나 맞아 찌게 나 그래서 뭔가 가서 맞아 버기 찌대 야거게 다 뒤죽 걸어 그치 야거게 찌대 찌 Jana 다 고소 마 고소 다 가서 jambe yang yin 세월 가이는 jana 그 뜻이더니 근데 되게도 다른 것도 봐. jana 지도 가이는 다 가서 디스온드 츠 되지. 근데 지금 비 저도 맞아. 응, 양철.
양철?
수바제나기. 레더스나기 양철 쓰지.
디스온드 츠 되는 거 되겠지 저도. 왜 그거 누나 그거 봐. 양고 쉬어. Zamberling koso rigonso deala pena mendang tida so round that is a lebeti do koso la. The data bitsur deala. Dede ta jana so jana tita so ranga main so that fa jorme do that ledoa. The jeche kina ngat tijong de chabre. Tene ta tik dan rawo de jorwa tene long ta se de tene ngara so pa kel pa jorya. Tene yang tene ta tene yang ki yima tene 그래서 하나님 때문에 때가 가시겠어도 뭐하면 뭐지 때문에 제발나
미끄러져 버지.
뭐하면 뭐지 다들 빠지는 거 직진할 때는 다다 따라하는 거야 돼 직진할 때는 때카로 때를 맞대 가시니 직진할 때는 양 중화돼 그래서 다 진짜적으로 중화해서도 다다 다양한 쪽으로 빼는 랑징 빼는 중화 탐지다 롱이야 중화지 와라 중화 탐지다 당고 빼는 남카다 롱이 되서 중화지 와라 진짜 제니 되는 배트에서 다 되어봐 아니 지게 되는 롱다성에 되게 아니 드라드 총 되는 되는 지 파트니 대 차브를 해서 가다요 지기 용용받아서 뭐나 롱까지 나게 롱따세 대마도 요 말에 지 용용받아서 다 시스들이로 이제 차로 가래
Mipa Rinpoche tear.
저 된다도 요시 다 무상할
내가 뭐지 나 제바자비 우리 룽타 이거 네 critics
So Lungta also relates to one's birth sign. What one's particular Lungta disposition will be. As a tiger, born in the tiger year, or then whatever year of the whatever your animal, whatever year you're born, then your Lungta will be predominated by a particular element, that type of Lungta. For example, born in the chicken, snake, or bull year, then you have a water Lungta disposition, pointing out your particular elemental power. So all relating to a Tibetan system of astrology. Tibetan system of astrology, which really was developed based on bringing in different traditions from around the world that were gathering them together and making from all of them the Tibetan system of astrology. Gathering the Chinese system of astrology, descending from Manjushri, or something, gathering the Kala Chakra system of astrology from India, and the third primary system of astrology that lent itself to the development of a Tibetan system called Yangkin.
Yangchar, the vowels and consonants.
Verbs and consonants?
Yeah. It's naturally based on vowels and consonants. It's in Vedas from Vedas.
Oh, from the Vedas. Gikar and Nele. So then also from India, the astrology based on the vowels and consonants.
Sanskrit.
The Sanskrit vowels and consonants borrowed from the Vedic tradition. So from all of these different systems, then the Tibetans developed their own really quite incredible system of astrology from the best systems of the day, gathering them all together. But often left the names from the original systems as they were. So not just with Lungta, but with many different terms and parts of the systems were just left as they were. So that's really the history of this term Lungta, but then based on the sound over generations, and Tibetans hearing the sound Lungta, Lungta, wind horse, wind horse. Then the spelling slightly changed, but when you look in the ancient astrological Tibetan texts, the spelling is very clearly not, wind horse. It's just this borrowed Chinese term. Mipa Rinpoche composed, investigated into this, the this particular term, Lungta, to like in form of debate to clarify the situation. Found that maybe the term lung, with meaning wind, could be describing the process of the elements coming into formation, from starting from space moving into lung. That maybe there was some relation there between, that could justify the term being wind there. But other than that, there's nothing. And in particular, if you look in the oldest astrological text, then it's very clearly not lung, the wind lung. Look.
아니, 배는 당하는 좀 농박수 수업이 벌써 중에서 파스 요르더니 그래서 갈래까지 차로도 배는 버거더니 매자성이 줘라. 매자성이더니 나 매자를 주기 깨자지래. 매대 내가 길을 딱딱 보이는 매자성. 그거 야나를 들어봐. 근데 야나 그게 목자세다. 목자세는 야나에 고약하게 망가서 아카드지 말. 근데 야나가 아까 보셔서 목자성 거 매자야. 목자성.
Maksa basje.
뭐야? 얘네 나한테고 벌이 전하는 거로 전하는 거더니 그 전하는 목사스도 목사스는 거의 망가서 빨카생이 전하니 벌 내가 맞아도 거지지 어머 빨카스 다 찍히네요. 내가 찍 얘네는 고양이가 요다 찍히 어떻게 때려 다 맞은 남분의 데서도 파선 로도 참참 되게 되더라고 참 나서 다 강다 때는 가는 속에 양 농다 생인데 다 뭐니 이게 농다 따당 가는 속에 야 다다 ngaran zu ta charge ni yiga yojo terje doa ta ni ting san ngaran zu yang zhe lu mira ma go jab yo do kechu ga tong yo ni de ne ngama de ne ba go ma gar de ne res ne jima nang ba de so yiga chi de chi ya ba res ne de mare ma zu yiga chare ya de ta di kawani yo res na ene yang shagya tabak ene jatsen zemo do 자천점이 봉기했어요. 나의 왕국이 휴식. 이제 다 말들 나오래 돼요. 나다 나만 얘기했더니 말겨도 없더니 나팜. 근데 나의 왕국이 나팜. 근데 나만 얘기했더니 다른 나라는 좀 가렸어요. 얘네 근데 다 시작해서 봐라더니 나의 왕국이 휴식. 근데 내가 노베 탑스더니 되게 노데 송말해. 근데 노데 송이 근데 네 얘네 말한 저거 애니 다쪽을 지체 얘네 다라 대처를 마 연나 얘네 때문에 합격 그래서 대체는 얘네 가서 가르잖아 이거 자센스 모습이다 얘네 자센스 분해서 다 거기서 자센스는 사야시요 내 다다다 말한 저거 토강 이게서 로가 코즈나는 여기 자센스 모습 이게 돼 양
도대기 자센스
분해
Zongdan do ni kare ko.
Zongdan do ni kare. Tati zongde tata ko zongko chasan nyam yore. Jagar ke do.
Chirang gi do lungda par chang di re do yen de.
Chirang chongde ya so tere do ya se zama. Ta tere. Yang pena dokar la so patere mango yore. Ta tukor ge dokar so. Ta 이게 때 지체. 내가 저 달라 찾지는 때. 야야. 그래서 제아바이나 게이터 파르시에 탐지 도야 가래 용거에서 다 그래서 탐지 아주 콩데 되네 이게 차야 돼서 맞춰를 jutsen 되네 다 가운데 되네 리스키니 요래 다 되게 리과 되네 되네 얘다 드라마미라 배나 만에 다 바장 거다 되네 드라마미라 파치바라 왔다 좀 뭐마데 당보데 가르려서는 jutsen쯤을 보기엔성에 속도를 배라 속도를 독가는 모습이 돼서 다 얘네 달러 트레이드는 치하로
do karma.
White umbrella.
진짜세는 요래
So with Lungta, such terms are.
얘는 이렇게 땅 다쳤어 거.
Dango Lungta.
야야.
Lungda.
근데
Dango Lungta. 아주 메타 막타 되기 거야. So like this term Lungta that borrowed from the Chinese and then misunderstood and transformed into something else is really can happen all the time. Also has happened with the Tibetan terms leaving Tibet into China. For example, the practice of moxibustion. In Tibetan it's called metsa. Burning on the channel, or fire channels, which is metsa. Which, so this practice went from Tibet into China, or into China it's called maksa. Which really is this borrowing of the Tibetan term. It means nothing in Chinese. So, or likewise with the Chinese term bagua coming into Tibet. So this happens all over the world, terms like that, leaving one culture, entering into another, the potential of them being misunderstood or transformed into something else to make meaning of them in their new culture. So regarding the flags themselves, Lungta and the Darchok flags themselves, what's the history of the writing on them? So often the history of them is thought to come from Tibet itself, going off into battle in Tibet before Buddhism ever entered, that you write on your flag to carry it off into battle to bring you good luck. Many people say that. That's nothing to do with the true history of why and what is written on the prayer flags. In both sutras and Dharani texts of the Buddha, their history is clearly explained, in particular in the sutra of
Dharani Sutra of final victory banner thing.
Final victory banner? Or like pinnacle victory banner? 10 months.
Victory banner thing.
So the sutra of the
Both sutra and Dharani.
Of the final victory banner, the pinnacle victory banner. So there's a story. So the gods and the demigods, the Asuras, were in battle, fought a great war, as they often do. But on this occasion, the gods lost to the Asuras. They had lost a great battle. So the Buddha Shakyamuni meets with Gyatsen Mangpo? Lai Wangpo Gyatsen. Brahma? Indra, sorry. Meets with Indra, they've been defeated in battle. Meets with Indra and...
Indra approaches Buddha.
Okay. Indra approached Buddha. And asked for guidance on how to win in battle. And the Buddha gives an instruction to write this on your victory banner. Write this particular Dharani and write this particular thing. And if you do that, then you will be victorious in battle. So Indra does that, they do that, and then they go off to battle, and they are victorious in battle. So this,
This is the origin of the prayer flag of Lungta.
Yeah, this is the origin of what is written on the prayer flags, and is still written on them today. The pinnacle victory banner Dharani mantra and phrases is what's written on many prayer flags today. There are some prayer flags out here that you can all buy, that a friend of mine gave me to sell for this. So Rinpoche said, they're written on those ones you brought us. You should know that. So, anyway. And then also there's other sutras that address this. What is to be written on the victory banners to bring auspiciousness, good luck, to raise your lungta, your personal power, like the Sutra of the White Umbrella.
Dharani.
The sutra that contains the Dharani of the White Umbrella, and so forth. So then it was based on this understanding that writing these sacred formulas, dharanis, and phrases and so forth that then the Mani mantra and the Benza Guru mantra were also incorporated in our written prayer flags.
So the Rinpoche's way Rinpoche is saying this, these days in the internet you might find that the origin of this Lungta prayer flags before it was used as a war flag. Then after Buddhism came to Tibet, the Buddhism adopted that one and made it like that. So that's totally not correct. So the origin of the Lungta prayer flag comes from that one, this Dharana Sutras. If you read the Dharana Sutras, you can find at the end of the sutras you have to make prayer flag and all these things.
다 응답에서 그 가도미라고 와 가도가서 네 소소한 건 중화 빼는 소소한 거다 감대야게야 빼는 알아서 소소한 건 중화가 가려인 바된 눈에 야고이나 다 소소한 가도 좀 와 빼는 다 소소한 메칸바이나 되네 응답 말았어 나랑 감대돼 애네 나랑 사칸바이나 응답에 살보죠 축한바이나 가보죠 된다고다 가동하든 중화하든 처음되는 요.
And regarding the colors represent the 5 elements. And if you want to get particular with it, then whatever one's own individual elemental composition, disposition may be, then hanging prayer flags in accord with that, in harmony with that, is best. You can do that. If you're a fire element, fire disposition, hanging red prayer flags. White for water, and yellow for earth, and so forth.
네, 다양한 조금 미세기집 안에 다 중화를 때니 추제야, 중화를 때니 쌍화제야, 그 시행거라. 왜는 나랑 조금 안에 풍부메다 방야라서 보다도 소양들은 중화를 때니 로
Less.
배는 내가 속박했더니 유대때 손을 망보지 시행이 열어 배는 다 말아서 수수 중화를 때니 근데 수수가 배는 다 말아서 지발정해야 돼 배는 다 말아서 가장 공을 시에서 진리를 때니 양 배는 말아서 미세 배는 매 때지 다 중화 이제 이렇게 되는 의미라고 시행이 열어 다 말아서 뒤집고 말해 배는 매 쳐봐서 야 매나 때니 정화지가 레만 보여래 이 유대 탐진님 마고 시에요 대된 다다 되게 나나 로고 상주 종 다다 로고 상주 종 뭐마되게 나나 가래 시에거서나 아니 비직 나랑 저 안에 상양인라 진서양인 대나긴 되네 가래서 미세게 다 가래서 잡다 박차라서 받아서 정야야 인서
One
다 미세게 빼나 다 로상주의 제비나 미세게 소선다가 가리니 맞대 그러나 다 된다고 가리나 당아서 그치 가지고 줘도 빼나 꼴적지마 내 짐이 오르지 Riwo Sangchod vision di dinamito. Riwo Sangchod vision di pieva. Tenere la canta coggio piova. Ya, tene? Coggio.
Coggio, has a cord.
cord.
Ale, dile io mare.
I
Di cortigi rosa che fanno higione. I chutiga. della paresse
mare, riesci a dirmici singing mare.
Dite, le scegliano io mare. Riwo Sangchod 그냥 그 이용료만 납득이는 거야. 네, 납득이 정도. 이 비전은 무슨 소리지?
One primary feature too with Riwo Sangchod to understand is that it's a practice engaged based on the elements, in particular based on the element of fire in the context of Riwo Sangchod. But in the Tantras it talks about many different practices for cleansing, purification, for accomplishing various different actions based on particular elements. Purifying obscuration, so here based on the element of fire. Based on the element of fire, performing activities of purification, transformation, cleansing. Where in the extensive, complete song practices, there's a song and it also is a chinseka, fire puja, fire offering, that cleanses obscurations, negativities, negative habitual imprints, and so forth.
Yang jinsi chuwa tatu chena chuwa ese wande. Tene depenas ta deke pena sanya yungore jinsi yungore. Tena yin ta ngato yang chuwa re chuwa lo. Chuwa lo ma a chesa wala tene korjong chilu. Eso la tene dorje param Dorje param tabi yun so ta kapsun na di mo param di no.
Vitamine.
Yo no no yo. This no no.
Vitamine. Vitamine. Dorje palam na yi.
No.
Yeah. Tama.
Oh yeah. I found that I'm just here.
Ro de. Ro. Mese.
Ben de dan ara zo ko kungu me jangya me le jang de ba jang xie yo ba den na ji ben de trap da de jangya ne la yen ge ben de ne de ba jangya就是的de ba se na ta de quan da de ba jangya ne de na yin ta ben ne zo ba da ne normal la so ba tabla so ba jangya yang cho sa ya so tra mi da ne 강해요.
드라마 나서요.
가인 드라마를 때는 잘 좋아해서. 맨날 대타고 로상께 찍고라. 근데 대타고 제일 좋아해서. 봐. 앞으로 손나. 알겠어요. 네. 되네 거도 빼나. 앞에서 중앙 중에 때는 서든지 강가스기 뭔거를 되네. 이거에서
So using the elements and Riwo Sangchod using the element of fire. We have many contexts different contexts where elements are used to perform a function, purify something, or cremations, like burning the remains of the body through the power of the element of fire. You're burning the corpse, purifying obscurations, negativity, spiritual pollutants, contaminants, and so forth. So here, Latsun Namkha Jigme himself is speaking to the power of Riwo Sangchod to accomplish whatever one wishes, to perform various different functions. Through the power of Riwo Sangchod, it's at once a song offering, at once can be a fire puja, a cleansing ritual, with the power to clear away negativity, obscurations, the null, the drip, the spiritual pollutants, contaminants. Also, at once a powerful means for amassing the accumulations. And he himself says, through this diamond-like practice of Riwo Sangchod, one will be able to ransom death, purify the misuse of offerings, and avert the various kinds of obstacles. Here, like extolling its functions for doing all sorts of things, whatever you need it to do, Riwo Sangchod can accomplish.
타마데 그 좀 하는지도 와서 근데 거기 말해 왔다 무슨 당관들이 자리에서 이 사소를
네,
사선.
사소가 가만히 있어
준네.
준네죠
준네 좋아. 주바. 주바. 이게 좋아. 주바. 준네 좋아하니?
응, 다섯 번 준네죠 아니 스도 나서 얘네 준네죠 아니 얘네 담을 무슨 스마도 현재 남아 된대 바티에도 보여 잠시 땡년도 얘는 내가 가를 뭐지 한국에 야때 보여를 생겼다 공부 장난이 기록이 있어 얘네 나를 붙이는 데서 가서 아니 공부 들으시 나도 아니 지키나 나서 아니 와요 자매노나 특별와 나서
Dumpling 직 unity.
자매 생에 되는 책 공부 요리여서
나도 unity.
이제 되네 특산에서 자르게 벌써도 반지만 여다 kalbam 가는 거 다음 공부부터 내가 또 내가 되는 거 좀 아니 기체스 알았어. 네, yes.
In our text of page 12, our last section of the conclusory practices of requesting activity, the text says, may the attacks of invaders be repelled, may the forces that create obstacles by inviting the spiritual teacher to leave this world be averted. May inauspicious bad omens for the land of Tibet be averted. May the planetary forces, nagas, and arrogant king-like spirits who cut short the breath of life be repelled. So may inauspicious bad omens for the land of Tibet be averted. Garjin Rinpoche has actually changed this in his version to say, instead of the land of Tibet, the whole world. So here we can understand where we say the land of Tibet to be referring to the whole world. And I say, can we change that too? Say Dumling, or the whole world? Yeah, I guess that's okay. So then, continuing, may the planetary forces, nagas, and arrogant king-like spirits who cut short the breath of life be repelled. May the 8 great fears and 16 lesser fears be overcome. For me and all those around me, may all that is inauspicious be averted. May the powers and strength of Samaya breakers and Gongpo demons be averted. So that's the recitation of the request for enlightened activity.
원래 소나 내가 드나더니 차상 마시더니 야용네 맞아 되니 Riwo Sangchod Riwo Sangchod
And I heard it too, you give take your bill. So we'll stop here for now, take a bathroom break, and then come back and perform the Riwo Sangchod.
Read the text.
Ale 그래서
최대라마 전에 봤을 때 캔자지도
이거
아니 대신 나와 되게 이야기
It doesn't know such as Kandoki Lama Summa Devaki Nyangin Le Deva Denin Shuyaki Barche.
네 수마
수마
한두
한두 순도 없어요 여러분
순도래
Didn't have
내가 제시 지기
to tactically.
아
Tactic Dang Joseki do not chico.
지키고 안 해.
Chico.
지고
Chico do not.
네 그거 이제 그건 내가 저도 내가 같이 또 수마 수마
Just filming it for the people on the internet.
Yeah.
So you can see what it looks like.
Every time you roll no one.
Yeah. You play conch.
No.
You play no conch.
Kinds of good stuff.
And then the alcohol?
All right, let's go.
Global, you need to distribute one text which has all lineage bread. Seven there or
7 line guys.
someone here or yeah, whatever.
제 대표에서
얘는 명도 대구 사람.
싸워래. 내가
이 최근 대구 야마 주고 그래서.
늘 제일
둥당구들 둥당한 양도 되고.
동치에 따위면
콘이 좋아한다 콘이 땅을.
Natalie?
And you sit together wherever somebody else. Or sit here basically.
With somebody else.
No, that's it.
Okay, so he can also.
그냥 최근이
Pictures then.
Yeah.
Alex. Alex.
Which? This okay?
Oh yeah.
Yes. This good?
Yeah.
근데 나한테 싸움이 쉬운 거 매일 싸움이 있었는데 뭐뭐 얘들이 제일 죽여서 이거 어떻게
잘 이거 말해. 제발 느낌에 딱 있어.
Lopan and Rinpoche were going through the names of the particular plant, tree substances we'll be using. So Lopan says he'll finish collecting the names and then send them to me and I can send them out.
양고기는
영국어 일본어
실제로 Yeah, first you need to sit together. Yeah, right. So, oh, this here not good. There's red crust. But it's behind us. Yeah, behind me. This we have to sit. So one
내 진짜로 미워나
둥다 당겨.
아니 근데 내가 쟤들이 말아파지냐 얘네 말아파지냐
Excuse me. Yeah.
So you two sit together or you come here.
Indeed.
You can sit here. You can sit there. With the number one.
뭐네?
Oh, okay. That's what you wanted.
Oh, you want to see? Nobody's here, right?
Oh, yeah, he's sitting together. Okay. Yeah, now we can sit here.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm in the temple. It took
Running Rock Reservation north of today, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe has asked all spiritual traditions and peoples of the world to pray on their behalf. So I was trying to explain the situation to Rinpoche and say it's kind of seems quite in line with what they're working to do with the way Rinpoche's been teaching.
They're probably doing some song-like things.
That's what we were saying. Rinpoche said, I don't think they do it exactly the same, maybe similar, but anyway, I asked if I could make that announcement that this group has asked everyone in the world to pray on their behalf today. So I thought it was unique that our practice landed at this time.
A auspicious coincidence.
Yes, auspicious coincidence. So we keep them in mind.
Right. The veterans are lining between the Indians and the police. They're making a line.
And tomorrow is supposed to be Army Corps of Engineers to leave.
Alright, that's how they hold it.
You barely can take conversation. You're playing that drum, right?
Really? You need to take another picture because they moved the septum down. You guys need to take pictures. They moved the septums. So they moved the septum, so you should take another picture.
Okay. Picture nga dunga.
And the children.
Same size. It's small.
Yeah.
Ale, nie, 맞아. 이제 시작이다. 그래요. 농가지.
Oh yeah.
Lungta.
네, 쇼. 이거는 농가지. 사자, 나 사자 같은 거 맞아. 그래서
무슨가? 가려나
사자 5만 부진들은 많이야 그럼.
싸게 주고 있는
사자 찍고
인생을 너무 싸게 돼.
어쨌든 친구들이 그런 친구들
These pair of flags you can buy if you'd like from me.
Right now?
But after. But the initial idea was to hang them all at Mountain Retreat, but we have a lot now, so if you'd like to sponsor one to be hung at Mountain Retreat, that's great. If you want to take it home, that's good too.
Okay, so lineage prayers, page 1, this Sanwai She. Steer the lips of samsara, I pray. And bless
classes, state-free, subject, object, or activity are dedicated. From the Dharmakaya space of primary purity, arising into some constructed plane, is most evident self, light with a tinge of red, in full unity of youth. In dazzling splendor, the measure of minor marks, only the pleasure and soul, majesty, completed all ornaments of rose, Samsara, Jnana Sattva, indivisible. His form is all the best form, the great embodiment of all samsara. Kanda chögü yine kame sakema chögü kama yunzı zembe zembe torje topana zeje kenda chalo yunzı kamye nime yakın çöpezo kore kınca çaba çevo
Our Sangha member Ludwig Trzanski sent a message requesting that we pray on behalf of his brother Marian Trzanski today. So, right now and through our song practice, please keep him in your thoughts and prayer.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Om Benza Guru Pema Siddhi
Back to page 4, let's read it once in English from the beginning. Ram Yam Ham. Out of emptiness appeared and radiance of the sun offering, transformed into wisdom, nectar, free of any impurity, from which arises an ocean-like clouds and sensual stimulants, straying out to fill the whole space. Room. In the vast, lustrous vessels, made of the essence of various jewels, semi substances, all the desirable objects of ordinary existence are transformed into the nectar of wisdom through the blessing of the three sealed syllables. So that all that appears and exists becomes an offering of all that is desirable. These are offered to Lamas, Yidams, Sakyins, Dhammapalas, and all the mandalas of the Buddhist directions. To the local deities of this world, beings of the six realms, the guests who my karmic debts, and especially to those who would steal my life and deplete my life force, to the malicious Jumbo demons who inflict sickness and obstacles, bad signs and dreams and all types of evil omens, the eight classes of exteriors, masters of magical illusions, those who my karmic debts of food, place, and wealth, the forces that reach man to the states of man and women dead, to all the spirits, terrans, ghouls, and female ghosts. Now all my karmic debts are paid, burned in the scarlet flames. Whatever each one desires, the objects of the desires rain down. For as far as the dreams exist, I dedicate an inexhaustible amount of sensual stimulants. May my negative actions, obscurations accumulate in the past, present, and future, and misuse of the offerings made to the free jewels, devotion for the dead, be purified in fire of the sun offering. Let its flames fill the entire universe and every minute particle of flame. Become an inexhaustible cloud of offerings like Samatavajras, pervading throughout all the Buddha realms. May these flames of offering rays the five-colored lights of wisdom pervade throughout the six classes of beings down to the Avicii hells. The three realms of samsara be liberated into the rainbow body, and all sentient beings awaken to the heart of enlightenment. You have to recite this Oma like a dragon's roar.
Back to page 4. Let's read from in English from page 7. Okay, so then we're going to recite the Jala song, Lungta song, so we don't have English right now. From Young Sangchod.
All is purified into the three highest environment, heavenly places, Samsara is liberated into nirvana, access and immaculate nectar, a share with all those who, from beginningless time until now, have possessed worldly existence, having attained all the noble qualities of the ages past in creation, and dispelled all obstacles in new meditation and action. Within the sky-like space of Samantabhadra's wondrous wisdom mind, may we seize the stronghold of the youthful base body. And when at last the great ocean of samsara is empty, may all beings attain Buddhahood and Buddha's net Upanishad. The sound offerings of the aggregates and elements blaze in vivid brilliant splendor. The sound offerings of red and white bodhicitta blaze in bliss and emptiness. The sound offerings of emptiness and compassion fill the Dharmadhatu. Upon the ground of five-colored, partial-like, phenomenal existence, samsara and nirvana, I offer the sound offering of spontaneously accomplished perfect Buddhahood. May all my karmic debts from the past be purified. In the present, they do not remain in my mind stream. I confess them. In the future, may I never be drawn into the wheel of obscuration. All impairments in the past of individual liberation, Bodhisattva precepts, and smiles of the Vidyadharas, conscious or unwitting, I openly admit. May illness, harmful influence, obscurations, and impurities be purified. May the stage of play, famine, and warfare be purified. May the attacks of the negative beauty of health, may the surrounding forces that cause the spiritual features to depart be affected. May inauspicious bad omens of the world and the head be affected. May the planetary forces not as inherently king-like spirits who cut short the breath of life be repelled. May the fears and 16 lesser fears be overcome. For me and all those around me, may all that is inauspicious be avoided. May the power and strength of Samaya breakers and conquer demons be affected.
Okay, so we are doing the young book, the wealth ritual here. It doesn't have, it's not in English again. So let's just keep watching.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that in the young, there's a lot of song that in what a young, concert and the song of what is not to whatever, young book. chance to come again and teach us. And then we watch us.
So now we'll, you guys circumambulate through Kora 3 times, bringing around the representation of the Drahla, the Yangkuk, and the Sang offering while Rinpoche is performing the gathering of the abundance or the wealth ritual. And then we'll visualize in a particular way.
Oh yeah, then that's a thing that's a young chicken. Then young woman is in the time around so that much of 2K. Any singer in it, then I get that. Sit there, that is never. Nola, that is okay. Chayan would have
Surupa Nyuata.
Nola, that is okay. Chat, young good of some. Any China, Chile, cook, young, and it is okay. The third, and it was cook. And then around that, any son of that, any that's had a son of Lungta. The sort of get any yata, any chronic pair of timber, any missing out any tricks on somebody else.
So now visualize in the following way. While Rinpoche is performing this gathering of wealth ritual, the gathering of abundance ritual, and the substances are circling around, that perceive that we are gathering in the enlightened compassion and the blessings of the Buddhas is being captured, brought in, that all worldly gods, the wealth spirits, the power of the worldly spirits, the wealth spirits, the treasure spirits, all of their abundance and spiritual accomplishments and cities are all being gathered together into these substances. By this happening, visualizing this happening, all of this being gathered in, then we're perceiving that the auspicious interdependence, the tendril of our own Lungta life force and life is being gathered and extended, increased along with our merit.
But don't be careful, you die.
Pour alcohol to everyone. Yeah.
Get a mug.
Yeah, for a
This is not a mess.
Hello. Here you live until your hair become gray.
Long side. Hello.
So we just live a little bit
You have lots of long Your hair become black again. Let's relax now. Hello. Hello. Destroy all the hair stuff. Hello.
Yeah, it's
Good.
No, that's how I yell in that.
now all together.
Okay, now we're singing.
참 눈에. 왜?
빠르고.
쓰서 넣는지.
아, 야구도 해.
So proper Tibetan Chong. Rigzin made it.
My wife.
맞아. 내가 사실 사코 믿어 맞았더니 맞아. 상도 처럼 꼬라 잡혔더니 상도도 제가 이내 맞는데 사회자 지원도요. 저 신라민도요. 저 신라민도 그냥 본다. 네 주전 이반 가서 같이 해봐. 좀 내려마도 예당 가서더니 막 꼬라 잡히는 거 같아. 꼬야 인스. 그래서 되는데 얘네 뒤지는 거리에서 거리에서네 봐봐 그걸 이해 좀 해봐.
Usually you walk outside, or walk outside, gathering in the abundance and scattering the song, doing this scattering like this. But today we're a little short on time. At 2 o'clock we have our Lojong teachings. Usually we would do that, walk outside and continue the practice and then conclude it with a circle dance.
나한테 이렇게 써서 하자고 생각했는데 이게 코드 대드레스 막 번이 중요한 다 대레스 막 번이 막 중요한 다 대레스
상계 샤키 주변에 말해.
나한테 상관해서 아니 많이 연결 다 대레스.
So this Kiki Soso Lagyalo, this one is a Tibetan creation. It's from the Buddha Shakyamuni, from the ancient mother societies of Tibet, descended through the Buddha.
엄마 거두더니 막 섞여주더니 이 소소 지코를 혀로 왔었어.
Back in the day, you'd go off into battle and you yell out, Kiki Soso Lagyalo, and you charge into battle with your sword. Lagyalo.
May the gods be victorious.
Soso. Kiki Soso. Lagyalo. Kiki Soso.
다 소소들은 그 본을 무슨 생각이 해도 소소지. 근데 그 운이 뭐만 해봐야 소소는데 바람 대적으로 쓰면서 나한테 소소지 소소지하고 시행을 하고 아 뒤에서 보는 남과 지금 맞지 그런 거 소는데 이게 그 소는 이게 되고도 사지. 근데 뭐는 가서 아 이제 나로 이게 솜도 아직 그 솜도 어디 용로 방포도 때문에 이게
이게 숨바.
숨바돼요. 이 원을 들으지 마.
Oh, 와서.
와서죠. 와서죠. 나로 되니까 저거.
소처. 소처. 뭐뭐 근데.
소처.
Venerate.
손주는 원 저거 참참나 얘네 배나 참참나 땅 하나 좀 집. 아니 가렸을 거라고. 다 참참나 가를 다 들었고 저때는 그냥 된다고 제가 지금 말지야 나 효기야 너. 근데 다 가서 얘네 먼저 쏟아주고 가서 나참 나 효기를 빼내 다 가서 초이라고 고쳐 보면다 축받이나 초이 축받이나 얘네 막 거기도 지금 넣고서 냥 판 레지는데 저거 판이 채용 되는 판로 되는 것도 제당 다른 농수구도 때도 되는 것도 배 써서 삐삐 써서 되는 것도 장도 깨져버려 깨져버려 것도 이게 가인가 네, 다 때려지 고소 아들은 내가 여반을 시행을 내가 독받아서 또 앉아서 독받 또 왔어요. 거기가 있어 내가 그 내발을 좀 살아. 하게 되니 쏘쏘 했더니 지금 걸 누구도 와. 내년 때는 배 쏘쏘 했네. 이런 점에 좀 없어. 그것은 내가 보다 되게 치수는 되게 너무 고좀 되게 뭐 이게 그래서 이제 그런 이제
아주 고마워
시야서 고마운 거라고 좀 때문에 이거는 참고시라야 말 되게 사는 거 이게 그래서 여러분 되게 야지야 말.
Ancient, primordial Bun. There, I asked, so, Nagyalo, may the gods be victorious. And I said, what's so mean? Got all that. So the ancient primordial Bun, so was a term of veneration and offering to the gods, to soldier, offering of supplication to the gods, yelling out, so. The modern day Bun, the Buddhist Bun, the Yungdrun Bun, give commentary to this term so as a representation of the three kayas. So this particular syllable so has three parts to it. The root letter of sa, then below is a wasur, and then above that is the vowel nado. So these three parts represent the three kayas. Also, ancient Tibetan warfare, it was like Braveheart or something. Two sides with their weapons, with their swords and bows and arrows, lining up against each other and then clashing, slamming into each other, killing each other. So this so was their yelling out so brought up the intensity. That was its purpose. It just made it more intense. Sharpness of the battle, increased the intensity.
야, 나 거저 빼나. 나 그만 이거 가지고 거저 그만도 나는데 샤먼스 말하지.
Shaman.
나 거저 봐 빼 샤먼하고. 대속에 다 거저지 두고 이거 빼는 거랑 저 자부 가라 홍홍 파파에 있어도 뒤에서는 뭐지 거저래 빼다 가르쳐. 거저다 이 샤먼스도 왔다디 네 바지에서. 대때는 가라 저 telaki dibayo ba 쓰고 얼른 이제 소리를 듣고 또 생각 내가 가는 말에 어디 지금 그래 이제 소리를 듣고 또 가는 나한테 거기서 내가 미세 거기 dibayo ba 너무 쓰고 나 데코다 주문으로 차로 나는 거 지스다 싶었대 나 지내가 저거 다 싸움들 대 채널이 이게 메뉴 미세도 다 보여준 거 좀 계속 그냥 한번 써서 이거를 써서 봐야 돼. 근데 그 팀은 많이 봐야 그 용납 차.
So also the ancient Bun shamans, the sound so was like their extraordinary and uniquely empowered mantra of aggressive, violent action. In our tradition, in Nyingma we have hum, you're performing wrathful activity. We recite hum, we have particular syllables, sounds, mantras, imbued with power. Hum hum pet pet. So with the ancient shamanic Bun shamans, so was their empowered mantra that they would use to empower their weapons and empower their activities going into battle. So now it's become common to all Tibetans, prescribed by the government and the traditions of Tibet. So everybody recites this. Kiki so.
아메리카 로바도 저기
So Native Americans, they shout out Tibetans sound like that. Indians, Tibetans, similar, ethnic group, probably they got similar sounds, similar practices.
ほら、そうやってね。あちゃんと海せよべ。でねな。Oh ja, das ist auch nicht da, Trainer zu Zama ja gut auf so eine Zama da die ne da nur da da
You sanction it?
Page 10.
So we're out of time now, so stop here. Everything went very well today, and now we'll recite the aspirations initially in English. Dedication.
Page 10, middle dedication.
May all the Buddha's
this offering and the solemn promise of the protectors be fulfilled. May the wishes of the 6 classes of beings be satisfied. May the enmity of karmic diversity assuaged. May we complete the accumulation of merit and wisdom. May we purify cognitive and emotional defilements and karmic traces. May we attain the Dharmakaya and Rupakaya for the benefit of self and others. Through the power of this vast act of generosity, may we spontaneously attain Buddhahood for the benefit of beings, all those who were not liberated by the Buddhas of the past. Through this act of generosity, may they be liberated. May all the spirits gathered in this place, be it on the earth or in the water or in the sky, always show goodwill and kindness to all beings, and practice brotherhood of faith and courage. Positivity, merit-ness, and all beings complete accumulation of merit and wisdom. And from this merit and wisdom, may they attain the Dharmakaya and Rupakaya for the benefit of self and others. Maintain that effort and exertion, the wish-fulfilling jewel, the wish-granting tree. May I fulfill the hopes of sentient beings, and may all be auspicious to accomplish their desires.